Blog Talk Radio.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Well, what's up, Sports City? It's your boy TP Tymeless back in front of this grill. You already know what time it is. The calling number is 929-477-2759. Man, I'm back at the helm, man. They had all of this madness happening while I was going across the country. I was in the Valley of Sin City. I was in the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Now I'm back home in the Nutmeg State, the Constitution State. Shout out to everybody in the country. I love y'all. I'm not even going to lie. I love every last bit of y'all, all 300 million or wherever the number may be. I don't care where we are politically, but we are here together, man. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world. Y'all are here with the chefs. It's a sad state going on right now. It's mayhem, but we got to pull together as people. As people, we got to pull together. I got people down there, and I lost sight of what was going on, like with the people that I got here around me in Sports City. So, yeah, I'm a little hurt. I'm a little frustrated, but, you know, we got to move on as best as I possibly can see this thing going down. I got an oldie but goodie in the building for a little while. We got Norm in the building. Norm, welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
Feeling good, man. Ready to talk some playoff football. Nothing better.
And I got the villain sliding in a little after the deadline, but we got him in here. See what happens when I get back in the saddle. This is what happens. This is what y'all was seeing for the past 2 or 3 weeks while I was out there and he was trying to hold this down. And you know, I'm appreciative of him for what he was able to do while we were out there. But see, when I get back into the helm, this is what I got to deal with. So welcome to the Cookout, villain. How are you feeling this evening?
Yes, no, villain, metal face, destro, still incredible in escrow. I'm here. I'm back in the building. You know, TP slapped the spatula out of my hand, kicked me out of the kitchen. I got to sit at the table like everybody else and wait for him to serve the plates. But I'm here. Like you said, like you alluded to, been a crazy day in the world of sports around this week, but in the country as well. Can't overstate or understate how crazy it is out there. Just praying that people come to their senses and respect just order, man. Just respect everything that we do around here, that the people, the rights that we have. But, you know, especially a tough week for me. One of my favorite rappers of all time who I model myself after, the metal-faced villain MF Doom passed away. So it's been a tough one. It's been a tough one.
Yeah, and you know, like I was saying before, there's other people having to fight this storm together. Hell, I got to sit in this doggone cookout with the villain, and you know how bad it is. I just want to just, like, hit him with a blast from somewhere just to shake him up so he can, you know, get that goodness. But if he wants to be Agent Smith, I'll be Neo, and I'll save the people. Don't worry. I got the Matrix. Don't worry. I'll take care of us, man. Red or blue pill as much as possible. Just like you said, shout out to MF Doom. Rest in peace to him. Shout out to him. Shout out to the young lady that passed away at the Capitol today. I mean, it's crazy right now. Yeah. But it's the Cookout. So if anything goes, I don't want to get too hung up emotionally because I know we'll run that into the ground and won't even get to talk sports. So just the Cookout, anything goes, any topic that we want to mention, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, even though it ain't no baseball really, but football, basketball, college, or pro, however we want to get after it, we can. There was a topic that was discussed on Sunday that I'm hoping this kitchen fills up with the people that were there because I told them to bring their tails back if it went down in favor of me, and it did. So I can't wait to pop that little bottle of champagne just so I can pour out some for my homies. So I'll let you set it off, Barry. I'll get Norm in here as well because Norm hasn't been here in a minute, so I'm going to get him on the grill as well. But, Barry, I'll let you set it off. What do you have for the Cookout tonight topic-wise?
I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on, TP, and you know, I agree with you. Listen, rest in peace to that lady. Listen, you know, even though I don't agree with everybody that was out there, I mean, you don't want anybody to lose their life, you know, just going out there and supposedly protesting. But we all know what it really was. But anyway, you know, listen, the end of the season was here, and you know, as a Giant fan, I was disappointed that the Eagles quit or at least the head coach, Doug Peterson, quit. But as a Giant fan, like, I know better. I know, listen, 6 wins isn't enough to get anybody in the playoffs, and we controlled our own destiny. We had games we should have won to get into the playoffs, so we can't cry because the Eagles quit. But, I mean, Doug Peterson that was just a microcosm of the season. And, you know, there's so much going on in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts getting taken out of the game, with Carson Wentz crying like a baby, and not wanting to come back. And, you know, really, who cares? Go to Indianapolis and go back with Frank Reich if you think that's going to help your career. But nobody cares that you don't want to be a backup in Philly. It's irrelevant. So, but there's just a lot of turmoil going on in Philly. It's insane. And to have that kind of rip away the headline of Washington, two great comeback stories, TP. Alex Smith coming back from that horrific injury to lead his team into the playoffs in the final day, and Ron Rivera, a cancer survivor, to coach a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in a couple of years back into the playoffs. That should have been the headline, not Doug Peterson, you know, quitting on his team and making excuses about it, and the players obviously being upset that, you know, Jalen Hurts was taken out of the game just so they can move up 3 spots in the draft. So I don't know how you feel about TP, Norman, but as a Giant fan, I'm pissed, but I really can't be pissed at that. I'm just disgusted as a football fan.
Norm, do you have any like tissues with you, or like a gallon of milk? Do you have anything?
Who, me?
No,
I mean the villain doesn't need it.
No, wait. Just answer the question. Do you have any tissues or a gallon of like milk?
Well, I'll tell you this: I don't, but I got some kind
Okay. So
words.
Wait, because he's crying. He's crying. So I want to make sure that I can wipe his tears somehow, some way. You know,
how am I crying?
Maybe hold on. I cut you off. I'll let you fully speak.
I don't care. I'm the villain. I'm going to cut you off because you're lying. You're lying to the people.
I let you speak. Wait, hold on. I let you speak. Let me continue my dialogue, please. You asked me how I felt about it. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I got to talk. I got to tell you how I feel. I got to talk about the NFC East as I see it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the crazy part is I feel where Barry is coming from. You know, like, I'm not going to lie. Like I'm 50-50. More, I want to say more like 51-49, because, like, 51% of it's in my veins, like, because of my father. My father was a Washington fan, and 49 is like I just didn't want to see anybody get that NFC East except the Dallas Cowboys. I did not want to see the Cowboys get it. So it's like, okay, the Giants fought their tail off to hold off the Cowboys and get it from underneath. I forget how long the streak is. I think it's 7 or 8 games the Cowboys have been beating the Giants straight. So I'm up here like the Cowboys are going to slip in there because they've been beating the Giants consistently. The Giants haven't been able to handle them. So then the Giants play strong ball in the first half. I'm like, just hold it down and don't let Zeke get started. Like, just do it as best they possibly can. And Dalton started warming up. I'm like, here it goes. And the Giants shut the door on them. I'm like, they earned that. Now it's like, I really want to see if Philly can come out here and play some good football and push the Giants in there. If not, then so be it. Just like Barry said, Alex Smith's story is one of the best stories. If you haven't seen the 30 for 30 on it, it's like, he was crying crazy, so it's like I'm not crying, you're crying. Like I'm like, yo, I don't want to watch this. He almost died. Everything that happened with him. And hold on. I'll let you talk. I just want to
chime into that. I watched the 30 for 30. I'm with you. I was so emotional watching that. It was the most horrific thing, and to see him come back was amazing.
Bad, and then like okay. And we're African American black men. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing his leg get nasty black, like they were gonna tell him he needed to cut his leg off, and we seen the pictures. I'm like, yo, like what would you do? And his wife was like, she trying her best to like keep him calm, and she gets the last say on what to do, maybe get rid of his leg. She didn't know what to do, and it's like, what do you do to preserve his life? And then they were able to, like, cut a piece of his body off, put it back. Like, just watch the 30 for 30 because I feel like I'm going to spill too much into that and take away from what I'm talking about. But just like Barry said, with the Alex Smith situation, with Ron Rivera fighting cancer and knowing I done lost several people to cancer, including the close person to me is my grandmother, like, I'm like, damn, he fought back, and even though it was a 6-10 record, I can't really fully applaud the record, but they did enough to get into the playoffs, and now here goes the Washington football team with Chase Young, the rookie, calling out Tom Brady. Like, you really are sitting up here getting in by the skin of your teeth, calling out Brady in that offense. Like stop. But it was just, either way, I just glad just not to see Dallas get in there with all of the money that they dumped into Zeke, all of the money that they're passing around through that organization. I did not want to see it get done. But, Norm, your thoughts on the situation, at least on the NFC East right now. The thing about Philadelphia is, though, with the Jalen Hurts situation, people are trying to give Peterson the leg up because he won the Super Bowl a few years ago, which I understand. But there's no way that, okay, what difference does it make from the 9th pick or the 6th pick? Like, honest, like, were you really sitting in the middle of the game thinking, like, we're going to get Waddle out of Alabama, or we looking at the 9th pick? Like, are you really sitting in the middle of the game, like, pull Jalen Hurts and then put Sudfeld in? And he didn't even look like an NFL quarterback. They didn't look like they wanted to play. It looked like it was scripted for the Eagles to just blow the game. Like, and I feel horrible, like to be if I were a Giants fan, I'd be pissed because we had the opportunity to make it happen. And just like Barry said, you can't leave the fate of your future of the season in another team's hands. But Philly, you got to respectably go out there and play ball. If you got a shot to win the game, I don't care if Jalen had a fumble or a pick or whatever. If he's still playing good football and able to win you the game, there's no way he's able to be pulled at that point in time. But I'll let you set this one off, Norm. How do you feel about what Barry's mentioned so far about the NFC East, how it was won, and the possible, situation that could have happened with either team getting into the playoffs?
I'm going to touch base on all of that stuff, and I'm going to be real quick about it. I'm going to start with Alex Smith. Alex Smith, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you all know, and he brought continuity to the Kansas City Chiefs. He then mentored Patrick Mahomes, got traded, and he's been a constant professional from the second he was doghoused in San Francisco. So for that guy, I mean, he's probably my favorite athlete that I've watched, and I've watched a lot of good ones. And it's hard for me to say that because I love a lot of athletes, but, man, Alex Smith is the constant professional. And so to see him to make the playoffs and his success and just take the field again, and especially after watching 30 for 30, man, they absolutely need to name the Comeback Player of the Year award after him. I mean, I haven't seen it in my lifetime, but I love where he's at. I'm very happy, and I root for Alex Smith every chance I can. So I'll put that one to bed. To the game between the game between Philly and Washington, and might I remind you, I had the Giants to win outright in a very good parlay that day because I believe the Giants were going to kill Dallas, and they probably should have, but they let him come back. So I believe the Giants were going to win that game. I like the Giants. But whether Jalen Hurts got pulled or not, Washington was going to win that game. And so there's your tissues. It doesn't matter if Jalen Hurts played the whole game. We all want to see him play because he was more exciting, obviously better than Sudfeld. The loser in that game is Doug Peterson because he's got to lie to everybody and say, I wanted to see what Sudfeld had. He knew what he had in Sudfeld. Sudfeld's been there for 3 years, I think. He came in a couple times, done some things, done this. There's a reason why he's third string behind Hurts. So it's very obvious. So I'm one of those people, everything has to make sense. And obviously Doug Peterson's excuse to wanting to see Sudfeld didn't make sense. That's not true. He did it. And it's hard to say you're throwing the game because if Sudfeld comes in and wins it, I mean, what are you going to do? You're the 9th pick. But the 6th pick, it's not like you're going to get a better player from 6 to 9. That all gets figured out 3 years after they're drafted. What you have is more capital. What tells me is they're going to trade out of that 6th pick. They want to trade back out of that 6th pick, and it has more capital. So Philly, how they went 4-11-1 or whatever the damn record was, is beside me because they have so much talent. I mean, they're guys up front, I mean, Fletcher Cox is probably the best in the league. And then Carson Wentz had a bad year. And I'm telling you right now, I disagree with what Peterson did on starting Hurts. I understand why he did it. Well, I take that back because they were still in the playoff hunt for their division. I wouldn't have benched Wentz no matter what, because you gave him the contract, you know he's your guy, and I expect him to start beginning next year, and I expect him to do well. But now you've created this issue with Hurts thinking, well, wait a minute, I did okay. Really weird situation in Philly, but I think Washington would have won that game even if Hurts played, because besides Hurts scrambling on third downs, they had nothing cooking. So, sorry, the Giants weren't going to make it anyhow. Washington all the way. They're going to lose to Tampa Bay, and let's get into the playoff situation. That's my 2 cents.
Wait, hold on. I'm not going to let you wait, hold on. We got people here, too. I'm going to get in there. I'm not just going to let you just say that the Giants weren't going to get that, because the Eagles still had a shot, and just like you said, Hurts was scrambling, but they couldn't stop him. He was picking up 10, 14-yard chunks of yardage, and the Washington football team couldn't do nothing about it. I could care less on how you feel about that situation on the way that, however you're looking at it schematically. I think the Eagles could have won that game. Washington didn't really put anything on the board offensively in the second half. There was a shot for them to win. It was a one-possession game. They lost by 6, not by 17 or 14. That's a winnable game. Suffield is fumbling snaps. He couldn't make a throw to the flat, and he said to let Suffield get snaps. What did you see in the beginning of the season, or what have you seen in the seasons previously? They literally stuck it to the Giants. They literally did some rivalry stuff to be like, no, New York, you already got 2 championships. We got our first. You're not going to get in there for an attempt to get 3. That's exactly how I look at Doug Peterson right now. And then with you saying that, why would the players of the team want to fight Peterson? Why would the players on the Eagles organization want to fight the coach? If you really think that they didn't have a shot and the players did, you need to think again. I could care less on how you feel about certain players or the way things are going down. They feel like they had a shot. Don't have them out there playing, lackadaisical, because there's guys like J.J. Watt that came out with a statement that said, if you can't play till week 17 and not give it your all, while there are people in the stands paying their hard-earned dollar to come see us play, no matter if it's week 1 or week 17, then you have a problem. You are one of the people with the problem that think they don't have a shot at the game while they were playing in the link. They weren't playing in FedEx Field. They were playing in the link. So there's a shot. So we do have people in queue calling by way of North New York. Hold on. Let me get you. Listen, the Cookout done heated up. I got the people here that I wanted to see. So just buckle up. We have Mr. Controversy in the Hold on. Let me get these people in there. I got you. It's heating up. I'm hot right now. Hold on. We got Mr. Controversy in the building. James, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Pete. How are you doing?
James. Okay, you sit still. I'm glad you're here. I can't wait to turn this heat up in this kitchen or on this grill in a little bit. You just sit right there. And calling in by way of the Metro from the 412, the 703, the 324, the 546, the 789, 10, 11, 12. Aaron, welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
Yeah, don't even get me started on this evening. What's up, fellas?
TP, can I chime in real quick, and then I'll pass off, please?
Okay.
Well, can I get 10 seconds just to rebut it real quick? 10 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. I just want to rebut what you said too, Norm. Go ahead.
So all I'm saying is, yes, Jalen Hurts gave the Eagles a better chance to win that game at the end than Sudfeld. That I'm not disagreeing at all, and I'm pretty sure I said that. But at the same time, if we're going to get into the hypotheticals on what could have happened, what if Alex Smith has, and even though he wasn't doing anything downfield, I could argue, well, if Washington was behind the 8 ball, Alex Smith will start to throw downfield and they could win the game. And that's where we get these arguments. I'm just saying, even with Jalen Hurts in the game through 3 quarters, they were down. So what do you guys say about that?
All I'm going to say, Norm, is that Washington did everything in their power to give that game away. They didn't play like a team that was on the brink that, needed a win to get into the play. They played like crap. That game was winnable. It was a one-possession game. It was in hand. So to bring in stuff, there's no reason that kid gets into the game. You were right. He's in his 4th year. I heard it perfectly on ESPN. That's like giving a kid that hasn't played for 3 years in high school, you're putting him in the game in the last game of the season on homecoming day as a senior. There's no participation award in this game. You're trying to win the game. You're telling your teammates, your players that are hurt, playing hurt, injured, like Ertz and company, Goddard, these guys, all these guys that I don't care about you guys. I'm not really interested in winning the game. That's basically what they said. And I'm not saying it as a Giant fan. I'm saying it as a football fan, as a guy that played football hurt. Like, that's a bad precedent to set. And for Carson Wentz, the guy, listen, there is no controversy. He is not the Eagles quarterback. Just because they gave him $100 million, that doesn't mean anything. The guy played like crap all year. He doesn't run Peterson's offense. He brings in Hurts, who does run the offense. They started winning games, and we're back in the playoff picture. Carson Wentz owes nothing. Just because you signed the contract doesn't mean you get to keep your job. That's crap. He's gone against everybody. He lost the locker room. Nobody wanted to follow him. He's garbage. He's got to go. Goodbye. Go to Indianapolis. Go be a Colt. It's over.
Yeah, and like I said, the biggest loser, I think I made this clear, the biggest loser was Peterson, because obviously, it didn't make sense what he said. I agreed with that. You and I disagree on Wentz. I think Wentz is going to be a great quarterback, and I expect him to start in Philly. If he doesn't, I think he's going to be great where he goes. I think he's an athlete that's going to be good. So we disagree there. That's fine.
My
but as far as the game goes,
wait. I think the masses will be against you. Like, okay, everybody in the NFL is an athlete. like they play the sport. But the way that he fell apart in the last three seasons, he's fallen apart. Or better yet, let me just say, after the injury of that MVP candidate situation season until he got hurt and then Foles took over, they won the Super Bowl, he's looked questionable since. So if he goes somewhere and sets fire somewhere, then prove me wrong. But he's had pieces around him in that organization. He's had the same stable, basically, with Philadelphia, other than the injuries of Alshon Jeffrey not being there or Ertz missing a good heap of time throughout the season. But they shouldn't miss too much of a beat. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him go to a team where I guess he has less of a strong market against him, because Philly's a big market, and knowing that those fans request so much out of him. But I beg to differ for the situation that they gave, money that they set him up with, and the way that he's fallen apart in all of these last couple of seasons right here. Serious, I'll let you say it off now.
And those are good points. I mean, valid points, very valid points.
No. They're not. They're not valid points, and I'm going to tell you all exactly why. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter where he goes, in my opinion. The situation at hand is, first of all, he cannot protect himself nor the football. I don't care where you go. If you can't protect yourself nor the football, you're useless as a quarterback. That is job one. Problem number two, I don't know who in God's green earth thought that Nate Sumfeld was earned or deserved any type of spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are fighting for an NFL game. You got Zach Ertz doing press conferences, boo-hooing, ugly girl crying because he loved the city of Philadelphia so much, and he apologized for W. Peterson. W. Peterson didn't even have the balls to get up in front of his reporters and apologize for essentially throwing the game. His all-star tight end did it for him. I don't understand how you walk into a locker room next year for OTAs and this, that, and the third and demand any type of respect or any type of anything from these players when you literally gave the bird not only to your players and to your organization, but to your fans. Eagles fans are pissed. This has nothing to do with getting the Giants into the playoffs or helping your division rival or this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, you strap on that Eagles helmet, you strap on your pads, and you go play football. If you wanted to throw the football game, why play Jalen Hurts to begin with? If you wanted to see what else you got and kind of build for the future, why play Zach Ertz? Why play these other first-round draft picks? It's irrelevant. Like, we're sitting here on a Wednesday talking about, well, he needs this, that, and the third, or he's going to be a good quarterback. Carson Wentz ain't been a good quarterback in 3 years. He leads the league in turnovers for the past 3 years. There's no.
Now, I'm sure Jameis Winston fits in there.
Well, yeah, he does kind of fit in there. But my point still remains, gentlemen. Like, Carson Wentz, listen, bro, look, I like the kid. I wish him the best on whatever he does. But I don't think he is a tier 1 or a tier 2 quarterback in this league ever again. Dougie Peterson, I don't understand why his key card to the Philadelphia Eagles parking facility and to Philadelphia Eagles front office is still working. I understand Jeffrey Lurie doesn't want to cause a scene or something like that, but he needs to be fired Sunday night, because there is no way that he's going to be able to walk into that room and demand any type of respect from these grown-ass men, and especially since you had your tight end giving an apology for you. That's unacceptable.
Let me give one 15-second comment just real quick, because obviously I think the disagreement is on Wentz and this and that. The game throwing, we all understand Sudfeld wasn't the answer to that. But I believe in Wentz. You guys don't. That's totally fine. And it's unfortunate. And this is the unfortunate part about an NFL quarterback and where you're placed and timing and this and that. It reminds me of Robert Griffin III with Washington. I really, really, really like Robert Griffin III. I thought he was like the next guy, and he got shit on. And it really upset me when he got injured this night. And so when he started a game this year for Baltimore, I was excited. I thought he was going to be the next Teddy Bridgewater that does well this night. And it's unfortunate because, I look at Robert Griffin III as like, this guy is an athlete. He's phenomenal. He can be the guy. And just for whatever reason, it didn't work out for him. You guys are kind of saying Wentz is going to that channel. I still have hope for Wentz. There you go.
Wentz, and that's funny. It's funny you say it like that. It's funny that you say it. Wait. It's funny that you say it like that because Wentz is on the same channels as RG3. The same thing. They both going through an injury on one of the most unbelievable seasons that they could have, and they're like the Lady of Rage, the one-hit wonder. They're not going to do anything else after that one hit. They could rock rough and stuff with those Afro puffs as much as they want to. Nothing's going to happen after that. What team do you see him going to immediately after Philly? If Philly does get rid of him right now, where does he go to have an instant impact to turn into your Teddy Bridgewater or upon that tier? Where do you see that?
Indianapolis. That was his old offensive coordinator.
Exactly. He has to go to the Colts because that's the only place that he can succeed. I think Rivers is going to retire after this year, and I think Norm Flay, the best fit for him is go back to his old offensive coordinator, somebody that knows him, is familiar with him, and can fix some of those issues that he has of holding the ball in the pocket, sitting there too long, waiting, only being a 2-read quarterback and not getting rid of the football. And RG3 was a 1-read quarterback that couldn't read defenses. That's why he didn't succeed. So, Carson Wentz, I think he can succeed. It ain't going to be in Philly. He's not tough enough. Philly will eat you alive. And he's just proven by whining in back channels over the internet and to reporters that he doesn't want to be a backup instead of being a good teammate like everybody else does, like Alex Smith did. You didn't see Alex Smith complaining that he was the backup to Haskins. He waited his turn. He was the good quarterback. Fitzpatrick was the good quarterback, the good backup in Miami. Carson Wentz isn't built that way. He's a baby. He needs to leave. He's not built for Philly. Next subject.
So he's like Big Ben.
Okay, Mr. Controversy. Mr. Controversy.
Whoa. You ain't going to slide by like that shit. What? Man, y'all better keep it moving. I'm not in the mood today. I'm not. Mr.
Controversy, since you've been sitting there quiet, your thoughts on your Philly Birds and how things went down at the end of the game, and then we'll get moving into some hotter topics.
All right, so I'm going to have a different opinion than anybody else. I don't think he should have even had Jalen Hurts in the game to begin with. We've seen it way too many times. What would have happened if Jalen Hurts got hurt during that game? Everybody would be asking the exact same question. Why on earth did Doug Peterson put him in the game when it was a useless game that didn't mean anything to the Philadelphia Eagles? Because it didn't. They did not have a shot at the playoffs. They were eliminated from the playoffs the week before when they lost to, I believe they lost to Dallas the week before. So they had no shot at the playoffs. They had 0 shot at the playoffs. So they were fighting for the Giants to make the playoffs. So why are they pushing so hard and getting their guy potentially hurt to get the Giants in the playoffs? Why are they giving up 3 draft positions to get the Giants in the playoffs?
Because you play to win the game.
The Giants over, if it was
Exactly. You play to win the game, James. Like, it's not about getting the Giants into the playoffs. It's about playing the game. Do you know how many people have gotten sick with COVID trying to play the game that you can easily play? Like, the league to get a 17-game season going, and you shit on it by putting a kid that had no business being in the game. When these other guys are going through all the protocols, leaving their family, they're telling you, hey, you can't spend Christmas with your family. You can't spend Thanksgiving with your family because you got to be in COVID protocol. And then to do this?
Hold on. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between Doug Peterson throwing that game and the Kansas City Chiefs sitting all their starters?
They had the number 1 seed wrapped up, first and foremost, and second of all, we knew.
And it didn't matter either.
Hold on. We knew, and the fans knew, and the people knew, like, weeks ago or days ago, this is what was going to happen. Here's the problem, James. Here's the problem with your whole story. If Dougie Peterson would have came out, like, you know what? We're going to play Nate Sumfeld. We're going to do this, that, and the third. Nobody would give a fuck. Nobody would care. Because you're right. The Eagles had the 6th seed or the 9th seed or whatever it was. But the fact that he played his guy, the fact that he formulated a game plan, the fact that nobody in the damn Eagles organization, players-wise, knew what the fuck the plan was, that's why this is the problem. You can't sit there and use the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers, and these other teams that rested starters, that rested players, as justification. Peterson giving a big FU to his players.
Yeah, it's not even FU to the Giants. It's an FU to his players. The Packers played their starters the whole game. The fact that the Chiefs and the Steelers didn't play their starters that game is the difference, James. The fact that you had your starters in for over 3 quarters and then decide to pull them out, that's the hypocrisy. Like, Mahomes didn't play. He didn't shoot up.
Doc Ertz was crying. Carson Wentz was like, what the fuck? I forget the other defensive player that was there. They stood there at the Link Stadium till 1 o'clock in the morning like, yo, what just happened? They were at the Link till 1 in the morning. We all saw ESPN the next day. My man Zach Ertz blowing snot bubbles because he was sorry. You can't sit there and compare the two, James. You're better than that.
I think we should all agree that Sudfeld wasn't the quarterback.
The NFL incentivized them to lose, and they did. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what they were incentivized to do. That's part of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
They were incentivized to lose.
Man up and say, this is what the game plan is. They formed the game plan all year.
But that's the thing, Jake. I have no problem. With the Giants.
They should have came out and said, you know what? We're going to sit all of our starters. They should have. I agree with you. They should have done that way at the beginning. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. That's totally true. Mm-hmm. But I don't blame them for losing. I don't, because the NFL.
Listen. The Giants can't be upset with what the Eagles did from the standpoint of what I said before. It's like the Giants, they blew 3 games where they were in the lead in the fourth quarter, one of them to the Eagles. They were up by 10 points with 4 minutes left. They were up on the Bucs in the fourth quarter, went to overtime. They were up on the Cowboys when they knocked Dak Prescott out of the game. They were up in that game, and they lost on a last-second field goal. They won any of those games, they're in the playoffs right now. So I can't be mad at what that happened in the Eagles and the Redskins, the Washington football team's game because of that. But as a football fan, and if I was a player on that team, you got some explaining to do. You got to explain to me as an organization where we're going with that kind of crap. That's all I got to say.
I posted this directly after the game. If I'm an Eagles player, Dougie Peterson's gonna have to see me. He's gonna have to see me. He's gonna have to see me. I got bread. I'll pay the fine. But this cornhead mob, he gonna have to see me. He gonna have to see me.
Okay,
So who's gonna
fair
win the
enough.
Super Bowl?
So, James, wait, hold on. Wait, no, you don't do that. You don't. Stop that. You bring your tail back here. You don't just get that today when you want to get it right now. Stop that. So, anyways, like I was saying on Sunday, because I had some people really trying to wake me up, trying to give me their pots of coffee, and I don't drink coffee at all. And I literally mean it. I don't drink coffee at all. I drink smart water, vitamin water, Poland Spring if you out here in my area, the neck of the woods, or Fiji. I'm funny. I don't drink faucet water or tap water. I drink, bottles. So with that being said, right?
Superhero you are. What a bougie ass.
I'm sorry. It's good. It's good. You should see me flexing right now. I got my guns out. So look. So here's the crazy part, right? Yeah. So I'm going through the show on Sunday, and then they said Baker was top 20 or 21, right? I guess it's 20. However, 19 or 20 quarterbacks are better than Baker, right? So I'm like, I'm not a big Baker fan, but I know that that's a reach, right? So then enters that Sunday, and of course, the Steelers aren't playing everybody to make that a game, but he did just enough because they almost came back and got that game. I do got to give the Steelers credit because they could have gotten it done, but they fell short. I don't even want to say fell short. They just, did what they could with the players that they had. But still, out of the 14 teams that are going into the playoffs, he's one of those 14. So at least be fair in saying that if you want to say that he's 14 in the league, are you really still squeezing 6 in front of him? Like now? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm glad that the smoke is in the air because I got the lighter fluid and I'm ready to light this joint on fire. So
wait, so TP, who was the 19 quarterbacks that they put ahead of him?
Oh, I'll let James and company allude to them.
Oh God, I love that. I know Carson Wentz is on this list.
Yes. Yes, and he had Wentz up there too. Yes, he did. Please, James.
And RG3? RG3?
No, not RG3.
Norm said RG3. I don't even know if Norm. Okay, wait, hold on. Before I get to James, because I got a panel of people. It's serious in here. Norm ain't been here in a minute. So okay, so Norm, in the league right now, is Baker above top 20 or 20 and lower?
Oh, he's top 20. I mean, I wouldn't say he's top 10, but top 20 easy.
All right, let's put the over under at 15. All right,
that's what I'm trying to be fair at 14, 15. I'm trying to be fair to be like, okay, Baker got in the playoffs by the skin of his teeth, and he still went what 11-5 on the season.
Yeah, if he's 15, if we do a top 15, he's number 15.
Okay, all right. So Sirius, I think you were. Okay. So Sirius is going with the top 15. So James, it looks like you're in the corner by yourself with this one. I want to hear the list now after everything went down week 17.
I mean, just because the Browns made the playoffs does not make Baker Mayfield magically a better quarterback. That's not how anything works. Football's a team game. The team win games, and they're in the playoffs. Good for them. They got the monkey out the back. I think that's great. Let's start with, we'll just go through the divisions. In the AFC East, I'm going to start with just the guys that are beyond reproach. Like, you can't deny these guys are better. Josh Allen is better. That's probably the only guy who's beyond reproach. There's a couple other guys who are close. I think Fitzpatrick is close. And then that would be it for the AFC.
You were saying Fitzpatrick the other day. You said you were throwing these guys in there. You just put him there.
Fitzpatrick. I would say Fitzpatrick is close, if not better.
So am I adding him to this list?
Not yet. We'll just go.
Okay, so we'll just leave Allen. I don't want.
Clearly better. So
okay, so right now we have Allen. You have one. There goes Allen.
Take all three quarterbacks in the AFC North. Burrow is better. Big Ben's better. And Jackson's better. All three.
Wait. What three? Say that again.
He said Joe
AFC.
Burrow, Ben, and Lamar. I don't even know how Burrow gets the leg up and didn't complete a season.
How you
but
put
I'm
Burrow on that list. I'm sorry.
Right. No, just save it. Listen, Barry, wait, Barry, just save it because I'm writing all of them down so I can get every last 20 of these quarterbacks because I'm questioning Burrow already.
Pause.
I got you.
I mean, next year, I would much rather have Joe Burrow than Baker Mayfield. Easily. I don't even think it's a question.
Year. Come on, that's next. Pause. I'm sorry.
Right, Barry, let him finish. I'm writing down every.
On my team for the next one season. Next one season, I want Joe Burrow over Baker Mayfield. I want Lamar Jackson over Baker Mayfield. I want Ben Roethlisberger over Baker Mayfield. I want Josh Allen over Baker Mayfield.
Right, I have your four. Keep going. I want to get to 19 or 20 with you.
I want Deshaun Watson over Baker Mayfield. I want Phillip Rivers over Baker Mayfield. I think Minshew's close, but probably not. And then I would rather have Ryan Tannehill over Baker Mayfield next season.
Okay. Come on.
And then we will go to the AFC West. Patrick Mahomes, there's no doubt there. Derek Carr, he's on the same level, but I would go ahead of him. I would put him over Baker, barely. He's like 19 and Baker's 20. Justin Herbert, I would put over him. And obviously, I'm not going to put Drew Lock. Not Drew Lock. Definitely not. And let's see, so that's the AFC. Then we were at the NFC. NFC East. I think I would take Alex Smith over Baker Mayfield.
Next division, there's not a quarterback in that division who would take over Baker Mayfield.
Wait, I'm having fun. You don't even know how hard I'm smiling writing these names. So, all right, we're gonna put Alex Smith, right? You said Alex Smith is the one that you have out of that division, right?
Totally. Yep. Next season.
Okay, so Smith
and maybe Jalen Hurts. I might even think about Jalen Hurts or Carson Wentz. One of those two. Whichever one starting, I would take over Baker Mayfield.
Wait, Jalen Hurts for 3 quarters or 4 quarters?
Right. Wait, let him finish. Norm, let him finish. I want him to get there. I think he's at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's at 12.
Every quarterback in the NFC North except for Mitchell Trubisky. So Stafford, Rodgers.
You want Jim McMahon too?
And Cousins.
And Kirk Cousins, yep. Every quarterback in the NFC South, easily. And
you take Bridgewater over him?
That's Brady, that's Breeze, that's Teddy Bridgewater, that's
Matty Ice?
Yeah, Matty Ice.
Yep.
I would take them over Baker.
4. Yep.
And then I would put Kyler Murray, definitely. Russell Wilson, definitely.
Wait, I know Norm loves that Murray. Okay, and then Wilson, yeah, that's beautiful. I got somebody that'll yell at you for that.
Goff is
I take
Murray
over Baker.
They're in that back 5, but I would put Goff over him. What does that put me at?
Goff. So this is everybody, right? So 1, 2, 3.
There's some that I think are also on the same level that I can
9,
review.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So you have 22 quarterbacks ahead of Baker Mayfield right now. In which, if you want to cut out Alex Smith,
that I could easily see an argument.
Don't get questionable now. No. It's no time for you to get questionable now. It's no time for you to get questionable now because Barry was telling you to chill out, and you still wanted to put Alex Smith there. So it's no time for you to get questionable now because you're just naming names. Now, the fact of the matter that you have Burrow, you have Burrow here who has not completed a season, and you're talking about you want to see him next season. When any quarterback comes off a ligament damage, They really are really tense about trying to make a throw off their knee, i.e. Tom Brady, when he came back, did not look like himself throwing the ball around a lot. So that's a questionable one. You also have Tannehill. If it wasn't for King Derrick, he would be garbage. And you know Derrick Henry is helping him do what he's doing right now at this point in time. Just to be brutally honest. But
you've got two top-tier running backs in this team helping him out. Chubb is not a scrub. And Kareem Hunt is not a scrub.
Nobody said those running backs being scrubbed or not, but he's going to have to make a pass after all. He's going to have to make a pass after all, especially with no receivers. Like, yeah, Landry is a name, but Landry ain't knocking down doors on defenses. Let's be honest. And his other receiver just got pulled over today because of weed, so we don't know what the hell is going to happen right there. You know what I'm saying? Derek Carr, I question. Herbert, he's a good quarterback. He's in his first season. He did not win over 5 or 6 games this season. I question right now. You're giving guys a leg up that do look good, but they didn't come out the box great. And then you put Alex Smith in here where everybody's trying to stop you at the door. You still with Jalen Hurts right now has to prove himself, and you're giving him the leg up, and he didn't even get to prove himself, and he got pulled in a Week 17 game. We're sitting up here arguing about why he got pulled in a Week 17 game. How would you pull a quarterback that has the potential to be one of the top 20 in the league and get pulled at a point in time when you can win a game? Right?
TP, I got it. Listen, Baker Mayfield is 15th in quarterback rating. He was about 12th in touchdowns thrown this year. I mean, I don't understand how you got all these other guys ahead of him. He threw 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That ain't freaking bad, okay? I mean, Burrow didn't even play a quarter of a season. I can't put Burrow ahead of him. Derek Carr, loser. I mean, Justin Herbert is Rookie of the Year. He had better numbers than him, no question about it. But Alex Smith, no. I mean, like, listen, I'm not a big Baker guy. I think this year he's cleaned up his act. He said all the right things, and he let his play do the talking, and his play was pretty darn good. Got them in the playoffs. I got to put respect on his name. Cousins, garbage. Teddy Bridgewater, not that good. Okay, I mean, he's just not a. I don't think he's as good as he used to be. I think he's okay. I don't think okay is better than Baker Mayfield right now. That's just my opinion. Cousins, get lost. That guy, he's stealing money. All right, he's DB Cooper right now. He's on the plane with his glasses, jumping out the window. Nobody can find him. He's stealing money from the Vikings. Okay, any quarterback in the NFC least, get lost. I mean, and that includes Danny Dollars. All right. Danny Bitcoin, okay? There's no way. There's no way.
What about Dak?
Who?
Next year. Dak Prescott.
No, I'm not talking about next. What is next year going to do with it? This year. We're talking about right now, in the here and now, the present. This guy's got a great – he's had a really good year.
I'm talking about where he is as the top quarterbacks in the league. So I'm talking about Dak Prescott, when he's healthy, is better than Baker Mayfield.
When he's healthy, that was last year. That's last year. We're talking right now. Look, listen. The NFL does their top 100. They don't do their top 100 players based off of next year. They do it off of the last year, the year they just played. But the guys they change the rotation all the time.
I'm not saying that Baker Mayfield played poorly this year. I'm talking about him in the future. I am prognosticating him towards the future. So
but
I'm
we're
not
talking
saying
about right now.
This year by any stretch. I'm saying that I would not want him on my team next season.
I can't validate that argument because we're talking about the quarterbacks right now. We're not talking about next year. We don't know what's going to happen next year. We could have said the same thing about Dak Prescott last year, that he was a top 5 quarterback, which we all argued about. And look at it this year. He got hurt 5 games into the season, so we can't even put him in the top 20.
But so this is what I'm saying. If there was a draft, and let's say it's a redraft, like a fantasy football redraft, right? Like, because obviously when you're talking about draft picks, you're talking about age and all that other stuff. But if we're taking those factors out of it and talking about just their performance in the upcoming season, I think that Baker Mayfield's not going to be all that great. And because I'm not saying that he, like I said, I'm not saying he played poorly this year. I'm saying that he's not going to live out his second contract. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's opinion. That's opinion. You know, he gets Odell back. He gets Odell Beckham back next year, and he's doing this damage without his best receiver.
Who? No, he gets worse with Odell.
Who? Odell Beckham? That old has been?
I know. Wait. I know you not acting like that. I know you not acting like that.
Super villain. You know I don't care about.
Yeah, but when he was in New York, you felt. When he was in New York, you felt different.
When he was in New York, I couldn't wait for him to get traded. Now I can't wait for his replacement. I'm still waiting for Dave Gettleman to draft his replacement. But Odell Beckham was a pain in the ass. Okay, I couldn't wait for him to leave.
This is terrible. This is so horrible. This is the same way you were looking at LeBron when LeBron was going to come to New York and then he did, and now you feel some way about LeBron. Like, stop this. Enough is enough. Because you look how the Giants look after Odell left. Crap. They haven't had a winning season since.
We didn't have one with them. Who cares?
Yes, you did. You went to the playoffs with him. You went to the playoffs with Odell.
Once. And then he was on the boat with the Fools and the other receivers and shit the bed against the Packers.
Hold on. You guys have looked crappy without him, and you guys chose Eli at 38-39 over him. And then Eli retired.
No, we didn't choose Eli over him. We chose harmony over him. We chose culture over him, okay? Listen, we went to the playoffs. We went to the playoffs 1 year with Odell Beckham. 1 year we had a winning season, and the guy shit the bed in the playoffs and dropped every pass that was thrown to him by Eli Manning in the breadbasket against the Packers in the playoffs. So I don't want to hear that Odell Beckham is dead to me. Dead.
Wait, hold on. You called 6-10 begging Philly for a win harmony? That's harmony, right? Harmony? That's what you call harmony?
The culture is better off without him. Fact.
If that's harmony, I'm calling that Bone Thugs and harmony. So I'm not.
I mean, did I see you at the crossroads, QT? I'll see you at the crossroads because we're better than we. We're a better culture than we were with him. We are. It's facts. Next subject. I don't want to talk about this guy. Next subject.
Okay, no, I just wanted to prove that top 20 crap that they were coming around here talking that madness with wrong. I just wanted to get that one straight. So I'll let you guys continue. Serious, is there something that you would like to do? Hold on. Serious, is there something you got? What, 18? See, this is what happens when you get too much of this food on the grill. It's just a smorgasbord. Okay, so Serious, your steak at the grill, what you like to throw on there? Is there anything that you have before I throw this one around the grill or start putting stuff up there myself?
Oh, wow. Look, gentlemen, there's so much that we got to talk about, man. But, you know, my thing that I wanted to talk about today was this coaching carousel. You know, obviously, you know, Monday came and went. Right now we got, I think, 6 head coaching vacancies in NFL. And I'm curious to see who you guys feel, you know, fits these spots the best. You know, put your GM hat on, kind of analyze the squad, and kind of see who you feel will fit these people the best. Obviously, names like, you know, Bieniemy and Salah, you know, are going to be brought up. But I saw a report that Jason Garrett is getting some buzz from the LA Chargers, and I was like, what the actual hell? What in the world? Like, so I was curious, man. Like, these NFL coaching, you know, vacancies are going to be hot, whatever case it be. Who does what?
Jason Garrett's doing good at keeping the Cowboys out of the playoffs. So I don't know what's up with that.
That's so bad that happened.
No, you know what? It's comical. You know what? I think Eric Bieniemy should be and is the hot candidate for a coaching job. I think the perfect slot for him to go is the Chargers. They got a quarterback that it looks like they hit it out of the park with him. I thought he was a good quarterback at Oregon. I didn't think he was this good. I mean, this kid has an arm. It's ridiculous. He looks the part. They got a good defense, good young defense. They got weapons. They just needed a coach that can win them some games. They're a 7-9 team that easily should have won probably 2 or 3 more games and probably be in the playoffs. So I like Anthony Lynn, but his game time management was atrocious, and I think you get a coach in that can do that. I think Bieniemy is a good fit. You hear Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. I think they have to pay a king's ransom to get him down there, but it looks like that's a real possibility. He leaves your program in shambles when he leaves like Ohio State and et cetera in Florida. But, I mean, you can't argue the guy wins. He wins like over 80% of his games. So, I mean, the guy is a winner. The Jets, I mean, they just need to not screw it up. I mean, to be honest with you, just don't screw it up. I think the defensive coordinator you mentioned, Sirius, Stefanski, I can't
Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I think he's a good candidate for them. But I think the Jets, they have to get it right. I don't think they need to get a coach that has a lot. I think a young coach, preferably, I would go with either a good D coordinator or a college coach, but they have to get it right. And at this point, the Jets, nobody knows what they're doing. Who knows? I think that honestly, I don't know who's going to go where, but I think the 2 most intriguing jobs are the Texans and the Chargers.
Yeah, my 2 cents on head coach. My 2 cents on head coaching. I'll just say this: it's extremely hard in the NFL, and that's why you see a lot of these known commodities who have done it before get rehired. And we as pundits sit back and say that's a stupid ass hire, and a lot of times we're right. But what's hard is when you look at the new coaches, the guys are coordinators. They're looking for that chance. When they get it, most of the time it doesn't work out, and that has nothing to do with the guy's credentials. He was fully qualified. It's just it's a new dress they're putting on. It's totally different, and unfortunately, a lot of them fail. And you'll see a lot of these people who fail their first time around, if they stay in the league, go regress to a coordinator again, they start seeing things different, and their second time around is better. That's just my opinion, and I can throw you names left and right that I agree on that show this. And so Bieniemy, I think, is a great opportunity. He's going to get hired, and I hope he succeeds. I feel like the only one that's going to succeed out of these new hires is going to be the Chargers because they have the right situation. But if they pick the wrong guy, everyone loses. If they pick the right guy, it's the next great coach. Look at guys like Vance Joseph. Anthony Lynn's another good situation. Matt Nagy's eventually going to get fired, but if he sticks around, these kind of guys, if they go find a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator position for a couple of years, they're going to come back in 5 years, and they'll end up being great. Look at Ron Rivera. Same situation. And so that's why it's frustrating when you see McCarthy get rehired, and he's, in my opinion, he's a flipping idiot. But why did he get rehired? It has to do with the organization. They want known commodities because they feel comfortable with that. And that's the one concern about the Chargers is that the Spanoses are a bunch of idiots, and they like to hire inferior people. And even though they stay outside of it, they don't want someone telling them what to do. So coaching's hard. I wish them all the best. And really, at the end of the day, we're always going to look aftermath and say, was it a good pick?
And what bothers me about the situation of the coaching carousel is, like, they always go with the coordinator and not go with a proven coach that has, like, a good resume. Like, and I just want to use my bias, for example. Like, before the Patricia hire, Dungy was interested, right? And Dungy is a Detroit guy. He's from Detroit. But he was playing that game like, like, I won't say nothing until somebody says something to me. And then when they hired Patricia, he was like, well, I wanted to jump in. And it's like, why wouldn't you put your hat out there so people could really make the assessment on going after you? The one that I see that's good for Detroit is Sally because he's from Detroit. And the crazy part about the Michigan people, they're actually putting a petition in, I don't know whether toward, like, the state or toward the Detroit Lions or, the I want to say Firestone, but the Ford family, trying to get him to come there. So knowing that Sally has proven his point out there in the Bay with the Niners, I don't know if it's just quickly going to transition to him as being a head coach, even though he's done a great job with the Niners, especially the effort that he put toward the Super Bowl and almost shutting down that offense until Shanahan took over and said, wait a minute, I'm going to show you how to mess up another Super Bowl. And I don't know if this is something that's good for Sally, if he's able to go to a contender or turn a team that's going through a sluggish situation and turn them into a contender. But I think between him and Bieniemy are the top of the food chain right now. I just hope that it pans out the way that everybody's looking at it, because it's easy for us to say that they've done well within their respective organizations, but just like we've seen with McCarthy or Charlie Weiss or, a lot of the guys that have left they left their respective organizations and did not pan out to do well elsewhere throughout the league, even including Bill O'Brien. It looks like I'm picking at the Belichick tree, because they all leave Bill, and then when they mess up, they all come back, other than Romeo Crennel. Crennel is the only one that, stayed away, didn't hurry up and run back to Foxborough. But a lot of those guys don't really pan out as head coaches, and why not go after somebody that has a proven resume instead of going after somebody that you hope turns out to be that guy that doesn't have a win or loss as a head coach in their column?
I'll give you 2 words. Mike McCarthy. That's why you don't go back to these guys that to go back to the well. Some of them can't adjust to the new game. The game is different than when McCarthy's trying to run his West Coast offense. It's not about that. It's RPO and analytics and all this stuff. That's the name of the game. So that's why a lot of these old coaches don't, unless they can adapt, they don't get the chance to. You don't see a lot of Dick Vermeils that left the game for 14 some odd years, come back and win a Super Bowl. You don't see a lot of that these days. And just the fact that McCarthy came back and then decided to bring Nolan in as his defensive coordinator shows how out of touch he was. And they were a game out of getting to the playoffs in a crappy division, but it wasn't because of him. You know what I mean? It's tough to get an old coach to come back and to be successful in this league. So. I listen. There's some that I hope would work out. I think Tony Dungy's a great football mind. I hope he would want to come back, but we'll see. It's a young man's game.
So here's my take on it, honestly, man. I'll be quick. Here's my take on it.
No. You don't have to be quick. I just wanted to. Wait. No. You don't have to rush. I just wanted to get a quick note in there. First off, I want to say shout out to Barry's Knicks. They knocked off the Utah Jazz real bad. But quick note.
Talk Knicks talk, baby. 5 out of 6.
Slow down. See, this is why I get in trouble by doing something quickly. And in a losing effort, the Washington Wizards lost to Philly, but Bradley Beal put up 60 in Philly, and this was in Philly. So there's another 60-point effort in 1 week between him and Steph.
How underrated is Bradley Beal, PT?
Hold on, let's hear us get that out. We'll talk about Bill. Let's hear us get that out. We'll talk about Bill. Hold on.
While we're giving basketball news, prayers up for Markelle Fultz of the Orlando Magic, towards ACL, gone for the year. He was having himself a decent year down there in Orlando. My opinion, could have really competed for a potential All-Star spot, but he tore his ACL. So I just got that alert on my phone while y'all were doing the conversation about the coaches.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was something else. Okay.
Yeah, let me get back to the coaches thing, and we can keep moving because we got a little bit more time left on the show. Here's the thing. I honestly believe, obviously, that Bieniemy is going to get one of these jobs. I think, honestly, I was talking with this on social media with my homie. I think the Detroit Lions are in trouble. And I'm not saying that because PP's there. I just don't think you guys are going to get the Lions are going to get anybody worth anything to come down there unless Louis Riddick becomes the GM. If the Detroit Lions are able to get Louis Riddick to become the GM like he is interviewed for, then he has enough pull to go out and get a solid big name to come down there and coach that squad.
Bless you.
So I do think the Lions are going to be, picking from, I don't say the bottom of the barrel, but they're going to go out in left field and grab somebody and try to bring him in there and try to coach that squad. I think Anthony Lynn is going to fall back on his feet somewhere. I think the most intriguing job, so to speak, obviously are the LA Chargers. But keep in mind the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, you got the number one pick. Obviously, you'll get Trevor Lawrence to come there. They got some weapons on the outside. I like DJ Shark. I like James Robinson in the backfield. You got a ton of money to spend. You're down there in Florida. Obviously, everybody's linking Urban Meyer to that job. Ryan Day, also from Ohio State, has also been linked to that job. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. But the Jets, I'm in with the Jets. I think it's going to take like more than a year, more than 2 years for this organization to build itself back up to where it needs to be. I would like to see somebody like a Lincoln Riley come out of college to take that job. I would like to see some type of offensive innovator type to take that job. The offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, his name just escaped me. Bill Lazor used to be the guy out there in Cincinnati. He seems like a guy who's itching to get back, start coaching. He seems like a guy who can, orchestrate some offense and do some things. So I'm curious to see how these all pan out. Obviously, the Houston Texans job with Deshaun Watson comes to mind. But I honestly think that you're going to need more pieces for Deshaun Watson, and he might get traded. I think you might need to move Deshaun Watson to gather more assets to build a more rounded team. Because right now you don't have any receivers to throw the ball to. You don't have really a running back to throw the ball to. Your offensive line is trash. Your defense is trash. J.J. Watt is yet a year older. So you really gonna have to do something to build your franchise up. I mean, maybe you trade T.J. Watt. Maybe you look to do something with Deshaun Watson, even though he just signed that massive deal. But if you're a coach, looking to come into Houston, you got to answer all these questions because really, Bill O'Brien left that cupboard bare. You have nothing to really work with there.
I mean, you said you guys want to trade. You said you want to trade T.J. Watt. Well, trade T.J. Watt to Detroit, and I'll work off of that. But I know you meant J.J. Watt. But and that's
yeah.
That's one thing. That's one thing I'm worried about with J.J. Like, is this the end of J.J.'s run, man? Like, because not only has he gotten older, you don't hear his name like that. The last time you heard his name was Thanksgiving when he picked Stafford off for a pick six. Other than that, J.J. Watt has been a no-show, and he finally got through a season without being injury-riddled. Like this is the bad situation of watching a legend. I can't take too much away from J.J. because for me, I hate to say it like this, it's hard for somebody not to like him or love him. Like, this dude does everything right. Like, and just like Siri just said, Bill O'Brien left Houston with nothing other than Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson was pissed because they got rid of D-Hop. So, like, this is tough to see how if J.J. wants to stay loyal to that city of Houston or go elsewhere. I want to see how you guys feel about J.J. Watt at the end of the day. Barry, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he's getting old, and I think it's at the point where, I think his best days are behind him. I think he has a couple years left. I don't think he's that long in the tooth, but I think his days of being the best defensive player in the league and a force that are way behind them. It's like watching, LT in the 90s after their second Super Bowl. Like, he's still a good player, but he's not the great player, fearsome player that he was in his prime. So I think from that standpoint, that's what we're looking at J.J. Watt. I think he can still be an impact player, but just not to the impact he was early in his career. But serious, trading Watson, like, you don't trade a franchise quarterback. I mean, unless you're Carson Wentz and you think he shit the bed for the last time. Like, well, see, Watson didn't do anything. Well, hold on, serious. Hold on. Watson didn't do anything, in my opinion, to warrant being traded, other than he's shown that he can play his behind off and keep this team that's garbage, and traded the best receiver in the league. I said it, the best receiver in the league for scraps, and the coach basically trying to get himself fired, and what he essentially did. Watson did everything in it. He got his friend got traded,
right.
and he still proved that he's a hell of a quarterback in this league.
Right, and my whole point while saying that is this: trade sometimes doesn't mean that you did anything bad or whatever the case may be. But in my honest opinion, Deshaun Watson contract and with Deshaun Watson, like, he needs to have a shot at competing and winning. You know what I'm saying? And right now, his contract eats up a good chunk of the revenue that is needed to rebuild and get that team back to where it needs to be. Now, in all likelihood, keeping it a buck with you, Deshaun Watson probably will take every snap of his career, more than likely in a Houston Texans uniform. But with that being said, it needs to be on the table that, hey, if we can move Deshaun Watson to, let's say, the Jets, for example, and get the second pick, plus some type of asset or some type of some more draft pick or some cash compensation, then we can move to the second pick, draft who we need to draft, do what we need to do. Like, at the end of the day, this is chess, not checkers. And we have to understand that with the Houston Texans, at least, they're not winning a championship nor the division anytime soon. So you just got Deshaun Watson sitting back there taking a beating, taking years and snaps, away from his career when, you can move him and try to rebuild your team.
That's hilarious.
They just won the division last year. Quarterback ultimately pays the price. That could be any team, but there's teams that paid their quarterback and have figured out how to win games. Look at Seattle. They paid Wilson. They won the division. The Packers, they got the great Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the Chiefs. Now they paid Mahomes, but they have some guys on rookie contracts as well. They don't have guys on big contracts. They got to pay Hill and company eventually. But I mean, there's teams that have paid their quarterback and can still win in this league. So I mean, I don't think the salary is the problem. I think it's the GM that drafts the right players around him that can win with them.
But here's the difference between Deshaun Watson and all these other quarterbacks that you mentioned. They at least have some type of weapon to use. Deshaun Watson's out there throwing to a 34-year-old Brandon Cooks who can't stay healthy. He doesn't have a running back. His offensive line is piss poor. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not sitting here advocating saying, Houston Texans, this is the move you need to make. But we do need to consider it as a viable option as they really look to rebuild. Patrick Mahomes got arguably one of the best, receiver tight end tandems in the league. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers is Aaron freaking Rodgers. Endorsement from us. Plus, he got a decent running game and arguably one of the best receivers in the game. Like, this is if Deshaun Watson had any help, but he is literally the only dude holding it down. Like J.J. Watt, he said what he said, but like I said earlier, the brother's old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, his defense can't help him. His offense can't help him. He's a lone wolf out there getting killed every week, running around for his life, trying to make chicken salad out of chicken crap.
Look, and you want to know what made me look at J.J. Watt's situation so bad? This Sunday against the Tennessee Titans, I sat right here in this kitchen during the brunches saying, well, Derrick Henry has 1,777 yards. He needs 223 yards to break 2,000. In my head, I'm like, it's doable, right? Even the last time that they played, Derrick Henry went crazy, even had a 94-yard touchdown against them. I'm like, the possibility of him going off of 200 is low. And then that game came up and watching Derrick Henry go crazy on the Texans defense. And every time Derrick Henry had the opportunity to carry the ball, all they did was run opposite side of J.J. Watt. And people, if I'm lying, I'm flying. You have to see J.J. Watt's energy after a while. They would say hike, Derrick Henry would go the other way, J.J. would stop running. J.J. just would walk. And I'm like, whoa. Like watching a legend, like slow down or lose interest. Like you have to watch the backside of the play on J.J. Watt not giving it no effort and just watching Derrick Henry go crazy on the other 10 players on the defense when they know they need J.J. Watt to slow that man down. Even though he's like 24, 25, he's still a young kid or a young man. That's a man. That is a grown man. You need his help. And I wonder if J.J.'s tired of being in Houston. I'm going to say that right now. Even though I feel like J.J. will probably end up retiring as a Texan, I think that he's tired of being there in Houston and probably look for somewhere else to go. And he's from Wisconsin. And I know he probably would love to go play with Green Bay and Rodgers or whomever he could get a shot with. But I don't think that.
Come kick it with your brothers. Come kick it with your brothers.
No, y'all chill out, man. Come calm down. You already trying to trade CJ.
Come see your
You
brother.
just said CJ.
Come see
You
your
couldn't even say the right.
Come see your
You
brother.
couldn't even say the right word. You couldn't even say the right word. So if you want to give up CJ, listen, Michigan ain't that far away, bro. Like we could take them. We'll take both of them. Look, we can take both of y'all. Y'all can run Michigan. Y'all close to Wisconsin. Do what you got to do. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the way I feel about J.J. Watt's situation, though. I wonder if I know he's loyal to that city, but like if his tank is on E, playing with the Texans. That's how I feel, especially if you guys watch, and it's on YouTube. Watch Derrick Henry's highlights of that 200-plus yard day against the Texans. After a while, you just see J.J. know that he can't get there. He's not even trying to chase the play now. He's just looking at this like, man, it's whatever. And he was calling his teammates out on giving effort, but he looked defeated. And it's already like they're beaten because they removed so many pieces from that Houston Texans team. Speaking of which, out of the city of Houston, the Houston Rockets went down out there in Indy too. So I am reading a column right now that says that move with Harden is looking imminent. So they are potentially looking to move him this season. Like this may be a situation for the Rockets. So I'll say serious for last. Barry, do you think there's a situation that they keep him there because they do look decent? Like they actually gave Dallas a game the other day, but Boogie got kicked out. They have pieces there to make it happen. It's not like Houston don't have but one gun. They got some pieces there. Should they hang on to him or move the headache?
Now you got to move on. I listen. I think they're better with him. Obviously, there's no question about it. But I mean, he doesn't want to be there. I think the divorce is imminent, and you got to move on. I think you're going to start seeing teams get desperate. I'm looking at the Nets. Losing Dinwiddie is a killer. I think the Nets can probably still contend if they learn how to play team defense together. I don't think losing Dinwiddie is a loss, but I don't think it's a huge enough loss that they can't be one of the top teams in the league. But I mean, I'm looking at them as a team that might be desperate, that might want to get into the mix. Portland's a team that's desperate that might want to get into the mix. I mean, listen, if I were the Sixers, I probably wouldn't pull the trigger. They're 6-1. They're 6-2 now that they lost tonight. That's a team that might want to stand pat. I think Doc Rivers has them playing some good basketball. But there's going to be teams as the season wears on. Maybe Milwaukee wants to get into the mix, so they might get desperate. I think the divorce is imminent. I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen this year.
Serious, your thoughts on your boys, especially with losing the game today in Indianapolis up against the Pacers. They're saying that this move is imminent. How do you feel? And they said this is a blockbuster trade too, so something big may be potentially happening.
You know what? Come with it. You know what I'm saying? I want this done, not now, but right now. I said this before the season started. I'm doubling down on it. Y'all friends, all y'all sitting here are friends on your social media, so y'all know where I stand on it. I don't ever want to see James Harden wearing a Houston uniform again. I really don't. And it's paying me. I got the NBA League Pass or whatever, so I'm able to watch all the Houston Rockets games and along with the other games around the association. It pains me every time I sit down, for the evening, watch a Houston Rocket game, and he steps out there and he, is wearing the Houston across his chest and he's doing his thing or whatever. It's kind of weird because I want my squad to do well. I want us to win. Before we dropped these last two, we was playing some good ball. John Wall looks like he's found himself a little bit. You know, the season's young, so I'm really going to, you know, temper my expectations on John Wall. Because, again, I wasn't a fan of him while he was here in D.C. I wasn't a fan of him when he got drafted out of the University of Kentucky. I'm not a fan of his game. But it seems like he's kind of, you know, gotten himself a jump shot a little bit and is playing, you know, aggressively and going to the cup and finishing with contact and popping back up. And so I'm impressed with what I've seen out of John Wall. I'm curious to see what my head coach is doing, man. We didn't play Christian Wood tonight, but he seems to be a steal from the Detroit Pistons, man. I like what I see from him. He is a better version, in my opinion, of Chris Capella, what Capella was, for the simple fact that he's reliable and he can hit free throws in the clutch. You know, he can step back and hit a decent jumper. You know, you really can't foul this guy. But back to the task at hand about moving on from Harden. Yeah, get it done, like, right now. I really don't care what it is. I trade this dude away to, you know, go back to OKC, man. Like, give me somebody. I don't care, man. You know, Alexander. Give me Alexander. I'll take Alexander. I don't care. Give
got somebody for you. I got Andre Roberson for you. I'll give you Andre Roberson for Harden. Straight up. We do that.
Give me Andre Roberson.
You do not want Andre Roberson. You do not want Andre Roberson.
I really don't.
Stop it.
Real talk. Between you and I really don't. I really don't. I really do want us to try to get, you know, a piece, a star in the making, or a mini star. You know, not a shining star, but maybe a star on the horizon or something like that. But at this point, I don't care. I do not want this man suiting up for the Houston Rockets ever again. I don't even want to see him, dude. Like, I took every James Harden shirt that I own to the Goodwill. Every one.
So you're tired of Kendrick Perkins 2.0?
Exactly, like, real talk. Like, I don't have this dude's socks. I never rock the shoes because I hate Adidas. Like, I don't want anything to do with this dude. And matter of fact, when I get in the house, I'm going upstairs to my computer and deleting all, you know, pictures of this dude on my Facebook. I don't want nothing to do with this brother.
Listen, I dig it, man. And when you're in that situation where, you know, the marriage has gone bad, you're just trying to stay together for the kids, it's not helping anybody. You know, and keeping, you know, I agree. Listen, if it's imminent, let's get it done. You know, there's teams, like I said, there's teams that are probably desperate enough to pull the trigger. The Nets might be. But I think they'll get it done. But, you know, listen, TB, I gotta say, my Knicks, baby. I mean, I know it's early, and I know they're gonna fall in their face halfway through the year and piss me off. But Thibodeau's got them playing hard, got them playing defense. That's and you know what, and got the Robinson. I think he might have unlocked him. You know, even though it's early and I know it's not going to last forever, it feels good to see them playing at least good basketball. Defense and taking care of the basketball, you can win some games in this league.
And I think that makes all the difference of having Thibodeau there with you guys right now. But I'm going to start calling Aaron Simmons R. Kelly. You want to know why?
Because he trapped in the closet?
No, not even that one. He's Mr. Cereal Guard. He's Mr. Cereal Guard. Yeah, that boy was Cereal Guard in a minute, man. He just said he wanted Roberson. I don't know what else he wanted to have happen, man. Shoot, he said anybody. He said
he might take a bag of balls if you give it.
First. I hope it ain't like that. I even listen, Nas, welcome to the Cookout. You came late, but you hear what's going on in the kitchen, though.
Hey, man, I don't live by the rules of time that you people live by.
Oh, God, here we go. just don't be out in the corners giving out cigarettes and lighters to people, okay?
He's an amazing guy. That's how he walks in the door. You know, you should always remember that. Anyway, salute. What's up, everybody?
You something else, man. You always got to come. That's what's wrong with black people today. You see, because of us, they down there in the Capitol acting crazy. So you stop now.
Don't.
No.
Okay.
I'm what's right with black people. The fact that there aren't more of me is the problem. Well, yeah, let's talk about.
Yeah, listen. I need a topic out of you since you just got here. Because you getting here all times of late. Like I can't feed you. You done missed the Baker conversation. You missed a whole bunch of stuff. So give me something that you want to talk about. I'll let you know if we spoke on.
I'm glad I missed the Baker conversation. Yeah, well, I guess he was just talking about Harden, man. Yeah, serious, you got to let some of that stuff go, man. You know what I mean?
I did. I went to the
You
Goodwill.
don't want to be so
all
mad.
my shirts is gone.
But Nas, he was so calm.
You don't want to
man.
be so mad.
He's gotten so much better. I think he's living with the pain a lot better than he was like a couple of weeks ago. He was unconsolable a couple of weeks ago.
What's the pain, though? Not only is he showing up for games, he's doing work when he shows up, so the trade value stays up. As far as I'm concerned, you should be looking at that as a win. Like, yeah, go out there and get 20 and 15 assists if you can every night. Keep that stock up so we can make sure we get a good package back. Boogie looked good tonight. Boogie was down low working. He had his hard hat on. He had like 4 blocks. What the hell? Look at Boogie. So, yeah, man, good things in store for y'all. Christian Wood shot out. Y'all lost a tough game. Now, as far as the Knicks, Tibbs is crazy, bro. Like, we all knew Tibbs was crazy. Like, we seen what he did in Chicago. Like, we knew Tibbs was crazy. Mm-hmm. But Tibbs is crazy for real. He got that boy RJ out there stealing car radios 38 minutes a game, bro. That man 19 years old. What are you doing? 19-year-old on the court for 38 minutes a game, bro. Poor Julius, a.k.a. John Henry, by what are we in now, January? By mid-February, Julius Randle's going to be on fumes. The boy playing 39 minutes a game. Like, okay, I mean, these early season wins mean a lot to you. But when the body falls out, this is going to be ugly. That ain't got nothing to do with shape. That's just wear and tear. Like, you can buy a nice Camaro tomorrow. But guess what? If you put regular gas in it, never change the oil, and redline that thing, that Camaro ain't going to be a Camaro no more. So, yeah, the boy Tibbs is crazy, man.
But you know what? He's got him playing hard, Nas. You've got him playing hard, and you know that he's going to run you ragged. You know he's going to make you play 35-plus minutes a game.
When are y'all going to stop believing? Hold on, man. Hold on. When are y'all going to stop believing in these lunch pail workman tropes? Everybody plays hard. Playing hard is not a big deal.
Come on.
You have to have a talented team, man.
Everybody plays hard? Really? Everybody plays hard?
You think dudes is waking up getting 20 and 10 lazily?
Yeah.
Like, nah, man. Everybody plays hard.
Not the ones that are getting 20 minutes. Yeah, not the guys that are getting 20 and 10, but you're telling me every team plays hard on defense?
Yes, the eye in the sky don't lie.
Next caller.
You lose minutes in the rotation. It's kind of hard to stop NBA players from scoring, man. It's kind of tough. So if you're the Bulls,
they average over 105 points a game.
You're going to get scored on.
They average over 105 points a game. I'm used to watching basketball where you average like 90 points a game. You were doing something. Come on, man. Defense.
Yeah, back in the day when you could bump and grind and put your hands on people and stuff. Now that you can't do that anymore, scores are gonna go up, pace is gonna go up. That's just that's just what they wanted the game to be.
Did you watch the Knicks play defense last year? Did you watch the Knicks play defense last year?
Yeah. So you think they're winning now because of their defense? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Because they're slightly better 3-point shooting team than last year, but not by much. They're playing better defense and they're taking care of the basketball. They got less turnovers than last year. So I mean, I think they were like 26 in defense last year.
Julius Randle
and they're
had
like
the same usage as James Harden had last year. And your boy R.J. Barrett is almost close.
They were 26 in total team defense last year. Right now, so far, they're about 13. So I think they are playing better defense. And I think that it's making them win games.
Okay. Keep in mind, we are seriously like 6 games in.
Go bet on the Knicks playoffs.
Please might be a 500 team sneak into the playoffs and get their doors blown off by Milwaukee. But Knicks fans like myself have been so punished since Isaiah Thomas walked into the building. We'll take what we can get.
My
well,
man's
y'all
a
not
battle
going to the playoffs,
I
okay?
feel sorry for him.
I don't. It's like
not going.
but we might be an 8 seed. You never know. But I'm serious. Like, dude, I'm not looking for 110. I'm looking for 5-2.
I'm telling you, I know. Y'all ain't going to the playoffs.
No, I'm serious those guys. Like, listen, I'm like Method Man. I'm not looking for 110. I'm looking for 5-2s. I'll take a bunch of 2s and make a night out of it. If I can get into the playoffs in the 8 seed and get swept in the first round, I'll be happy.
This is the worst thing. This is the worst thing for bad. Well, I want to say bad because their fan base is good. This is the worst thing for fan bases who've been through a lot. Hope. I see it in your eyes, Knicks fans. You're getting hopeful.
Exactly.
You feel like you might do something. You feel excited.
I should be.
I'm the Grinch, baby. I'm going to enjoy the disappointment. I'm the Grinch, so it's all good, brother. Be happy. That's better for me. More tears.
You can't have true despair without hope. So I mean, like, you know, hope poisons your soul, like Bane said. So as a Knicks fan, all I have is hope. All I have is Obi Toppin and R.J. Barrett and Tibbs and Robinson and Randall getting triple doubles. That's the hope. And then that despair will kick in halfway through the year when we shit the bed. That's
I wish you would have said that in the Bane voice because I hadn't even thought of that quote. But if he said that one goes hard too. I slip on that one. But
don't forget no true despair with our hope.
I gotta hang back, man. I'm gonna listen to y'all. I just wanted to call in and kick the door open for a little bit, man. But I'm gonna listen to y'all, man. I'm not trying to disrupt things.
Yes, you did. You came up here. Look, you came up in here and caught wreck, man. That's the crazy part, man. But you can't leave just throwing a couple dishes around and then walk out the doggone door, man. Okay, because we are at the tail end and we getting these little quick ones in. I wanted to see how y'all feel about the state of the Los Angeles Clippers. When they win their games, they look impressive. They lose games like they lost against the Spurs, and that's a bad loss to me, the way that they lost to the Spurs, because the Spurs are not a great team at this moment. I wanted to see how y'all felt about the state of the Clippers right now. Naj, you're not going anywhere, and I'm throwing this one around, and then we'll get up out of here. I guess he did leave, huh? You told me, huh?
He said peace out.
Okay, so I'll come to you, Sirius. Your thoughts on the state of the Clippers, how they are an up-and-down team, to be honest. One night they play good ball, and then one night they'll lose a questionable game, and it's like, wait, is this supposed to be one of the super teams in the league?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'm going to be honest with you. I understand this is a very young season, but here's my issue with the Clippers, okay? You want us to put you in the L.A. Lakers, stratosphere, and teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and these elite teams and the association, the Miami Heat come to mind. And yet you are literally Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, depending upon, who has what pregame meal and, who puts on the right color socks and, who got some or didn't get some the night before. Like, I don't understand watching this LA Clipper team. You know what I'm saying? And again, here's the thing. Like, personally, I like Tyrone Lue. I think he is a decent coach. I just don't think he is the right coach for this bunch. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to really come to light, as the season progresses and we start talking about playoff basketball and this, that, and the third. Because honestly, this team literally is the old Indianapolis Colts teams of the NFL, where they just try to outscore you. They don't play a lick of defense. They don't do anything like they need to do. I understand Kawhi Leonard's playing with a busted nose and with this, that, and the third, but at the end of the day, they're not building a solid foundation for them to which build on. I think the loss of Montrezl Harrell is really coming back to bite them in the ass, because they really, in my opinion, didn't get anybody to fill that Swiss Army knife role. And again, PG-13, in my opinion, is no dog. He's a little midget, wiener dog who, barks very loud and occasionally, does something that deserves a treat. But at the end of the day, he's a little weenie dog who needs to grow up here.
Wow. He is so critical of him. All right, Barry, your thoughts on this Clippers team? And, just like Siri said, this is the early portion of the season, so let me be fair. It is early in the season, but they're losing games that they should be winning. To me, at least that's how I feel. But your thoughts on the Clippers at this point in time, and I do agree with Siri's also. The loss of Montrezl Harrell might be a lot, especially defensively in the second unit. But your thoughts, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, you don't just lose a sixth man of the year and think you can make up for it. So, but, listen, George is hurt.
They have one. They have Lou Williams. Lou Williams is one.
Yeah, I mean, but Harold is a pretty damn good player, too. So that's a tough ask. So, I think Ibaka is probably better overall than him. But I think, to your point, it's early in the season. Just like, it's kind of hypocritical to say, I'm excited for the Knicks, but it's early in the season. But I'm not worried about the Clippers because it's early in the season. But with the new coach, Ty Lue, and then, same thing with the Knicks for the new coach and Tibbs. It's kind of crazy. But I think with George being hurt with the quote-unquote ankle soreness, I think, it's just early. And I think they're a flawed team because, like we said, they don't have a point guard. They need a point guard to stabilize this team. Until they get one, we're just going to see them be an average team until they really make strides. So I think it's a little early to throw salt on it. I mean, 8 games in to understand who they are, their identity. You would have thought they would have figured it out by now. They want to contend with the Lakers. I don't know if they're ready to contend with the Lakers to be on that level. Honestly, I don't know mentally. They just need a tough-minded point guard that can get them over a hump. So we'll see how that happens. But it's a little early. Let's see a couple more games and kind of maybe this time next week. Or maybe 2 weeks from now, we'll see will the real Clippers stand up. But I think they're a better team than what they're playing right now.
I'll be fair in saying this, and then I'll start to close out. I will give them until after the All-Star break. So what, mid-February, right? I know they probably won't have an All-Star break, but I'm figuring mid-February, early March. I want to be fair there. And if we don't see, this turnover, then this may be a mess. And with Kawhi saying he may potentially leave the Clippers if they don't get to a title. So this could get worse than expected. All right, so I need plugs and closeouts from each of you because we did carry overtime, and this was some good stuff coming out of the doggone grill here at the Cookout. So I'll start with you first, Mr. Simmons. I need a closeout, shout-out, anything that you like to promote as we close the lid here at the grill.
Gentlemen, it's such a pleasure to be here with you guys. Again, it's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703. Also, be on the lookout. I'm actually going to do a little spin-off for here in Sports City, little midday talk joint or whatever. I'm, working with some people, whatever, trying to do some things, that I kind of love, man. I enjoy doing this on a regular basis. A lot of times I get some stuff in my head that I just want to get out. And we don't have a show or whatever scheduled, so I'm looking to do some different things. But definitely, man, on a more serious note, T, I owe you an apology, man. I came at your hard body, off air. I was really in my feelings or whatever about what's going on. Literally, 30 minutes from me.
Hold on. We in that fight together. We in that fight together. So,
we is.
You ain't got to apologize.
We is. I came at you wrong. I apologize for you. I mean, even though you were in that fight with me, man. My point is this. It doesn't really matter, and we don't get political on this show, and I'm not going to get political now. But it really doesn't matter what side of the fence you fall on. Decency and respect are always in order. And unfortunately, due to what took place today, a life was lost. A wife, a daughter, a mother, had big plans for 2021, and unfortunately, those got cut short because of what took place. It's sad. It's sad. It really is. With that being said, man, y'all be safe, man. Like I always say as I end these shows, man, wear your mask, do your social distancing. Each one, reach one, protect each other, take care of each other, love that neighbor, man. Lord willing, I'll be back in the building on Sunday, man, with another with another episode after talking about these playoff games, man. It's going to be a crazy weekend of playoff football. We got 3 games on Wednesday.
Wait, hold on. Before you close out, I'm glad that he said that. Thank you, Sirius. You're good, boy. You're good, boy. You're good. Okay, so I need winners for Saturday because then we could pick on Sunday. So the Bills, Rams, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Washington. I need the 3 winners.
All right, so I'm gonna go quick. I'm gonna get out of here. I got the Buccaneers winning. I got the Bills winning. And who was the other one?
The Rams and the Seahawks.
I'm going Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle. I got the Bills, Seattle, and the Buccaneers to win this weekend. It's gonna be a good weekend of football. It's gonna be a good weekend of football. I didn't really get to talk into the Cleveland Brown COVID situation, but I'm sure we hit that Sunday.
See, and there was a lot of stuff going on. This is what happens at the Cookout, people. I'll be having a whole chart of stuff written out, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to be fair now. I feel like I'll be putting too much into the show, so I'll be wanting people to get this stuff out. And then when they do, we only get through like 3 or 4 things because everybody got so much they want to eat. So I'm going to try. I'm trying, Sports City. I'm trying new things to try to let people get involved. Barry, I need your teams for these 3, at least Saturday. And I don't know if you're going to come into the brunch on Sunday and we get picks on Sunday, but at least these 3 so we can get those predictions in. And then a plug, close out, shout out, anything that you like to promote as well.
Yeah, listen, I'll take Seattle. I'll take the Bills. The Bills are probably the best threat to Kansas City, and I'll take Washington at home. Just got a funny feeling. I've seen worse happen. But listen, another great show. Sirius, Naj, James, Norm, everybody. Thanks for calling in. It's been a crazy day. I don't like to get too political, like Sirius, but I mean at this time, we're watching people inciting an insurrection, and basically nothing happened to these people that stormed the Capitol. If they looked like me, it'd be a different story. So I'll leave it there. But another great show. We'll be back next week, cooking out with TP. TP always the host with the most. I gotta say again. I said earlier to begin the show. It's been a tough week with my guy, my inspiration for doing stuff like this. MF Doom passing away, the great, the legend, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Shout out to him. It's so funny that he passed away on Halloween. Typical villain fashion, but miss that guy to death. Another great show. We got big things rolling through. We'll have we'll have a lot of things cooking this year. New year, new feeling, new energy coming into the building. Happy to be back. TP, you know what time it is. Love you, brother. Out.
You already know Sports City, man. I love my family. I love my people. I love this kitchen, man. I love the sport talk, man. But more importantly, I love life, man. I love people, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, man. We here together, each one teach one. Just like Barry said, if it was on the other side of the foot, if it was 2016 when Trump won, couldn't nobody out here go crazy. But just look at the way the world is going in 2021. Pay attention, people. Be wise to the people around you. We could be better. On that note, tell a friend to tell a friend that it's the chefs again. And if they don't know, now they know.